killed by a Fiora, Viego, and Draven just running you down.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is for AL, there's a lot more chaotic ultimates, shall we say, right? Seeing that hero's entrance, massive symbol come down on the floor and recognizing you might have to back off, the Renata ultimate as well, having to disengage. I think AL now have quite a few more tools than they did in game number 1 to actually try and combat some of this diving coming forward. But also I think, you know, you should know me having the Fiora, being able to probably still get through that Berserk ultimate, to be honest with you, and everything can balance on whether or not Wink is hitting hooks on Blitzcrank.
Yeah,
that can just end the game. Plain and simple. That is kind of just the value of Blitzcrank in professional play. So a lot of eyes will be on him, of course, in the laning phase as well, to make sure that he's, well, landing hooks when it matters in lane, but also trying to create pockets of fog so that Wink can find these sneaky angles to potentially try and hook in Betty or SwordArt, or help anyone really, because Blitzcrank provides so much CC after the hook itself, you can usually burst down the target.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll see now with You Should Know Me, see what he can do against ZDZ on the opposite side of this matchup. But the junglers taking it back for one last spin. We're going to have Graves versus Viego as we start to develop a little bit of a meta here in 2023. We are the first of the major regions to come back, but don't worry, you won't have to wait too much longer for everyone else to start picking themselves back up. LCK is back this week, I believe, or sorry, next week. I believe we've got the LEC after that, then the LCS. We've got so much coming up for you. Right now, the LPL is all that you need, and it's going to be absolutely chaos if someone were to walk into that brush. And oh, crowd noises.
Oh my god.
It's been so long.
I've never heard a crowd.
That's right. You haven't had the gyos.
No, I haven't had the gyos in person or online. It's
cathartic.
So that felt nice.
Yes,
that was a personal one.
Yeah, I'm glad I could be here for your first time. We're gonna move swiftly on from that comment.
Yes, all right.
But anyone's legend looking for a bit of an invade. I like this. Their level 1 is a lot stronger, and they can just get a red buff, and this kind of puts the jungle pathing a little bit off kilter. It'll be interesting to see now how and when these junglers are able to make things happen.
Yeah, a lot of things going on. You Should Know Me as well, trying to freeze the wave, trying to make ZDZ miss a creep if he sticks around for the leash. Not going to happen though. But it's the same play as game number 1 from anyone's legend. Now the question is, will Xiaohao repeat the exact same mid lane gank, or will he just take chickens this time? Pings, you have to imagine this time that he's expecting, right? Yeah, alright, he's sticking on the chickens. Something you have to just kind of eye at, you know? But get really nice dual look at both the bot and the top lane, of course. We're going to have to focus on Wink a lot next turn in this game on the Blitzcrank. 2 very immobile champions that, if hooked, should in theory just bloody well die. Simple as that. As level 2's hit first, Biden flash in.
I was just about to say, the level 2, you get the knock up, you still have the hook available, you have nowhere to go. It's actually the Blitzcrank who picks up the first blood. Cleanse has to be used by Ons. There will not be an early cash out. Wink, you know what? You deserve that kill. Good job,
you know what? You know, it's pros and cons, right, Oisin? This way, On gets to stack his passive more. Just think long term, all right? It's about economy. As a top lane gank is going on, ZDZ's got a big wave to work with and a little bit more HP, but he should, by all right, be dead.
A little bit of a flash, another little bit of a flash there. Not going to be able to quite hit him with the Blade of the Ruined King, but 2 more dashes. Should be able to get it. They flash forward. Oh my god, the healing. That's why you always pop your pots, ladies and gentlemen. You're able to force out a couple more summoners. And that means that we're looking at a 2-0 star. IG making up for their bad start in game 1 and come out swinging.
Yeah. Find that play on the bottom side. Okay, sure, Arm doesn't get it, but again, long-term return on investment machine. That's what we're looking for here. As level 2 just gets hit first, a little bit of disrespect. They feel like they can maybe hit 2 in a small window where they can't flash forward, but yeah, no, doesn't happen. Wink does end up taking that first blood, but not really the end of the world. As the top lane was also answered, or actually additionally played upon by Gideon. They found their first blood up there. So, pardon saying You Should Know Me up for a little bit more success. It's harder. Pop goes. Gideon has no flash.
He has no flash, and he's been hit by the hook shot. Will he die to whom, though, is the question. And that answer is going to be Xiaohao, who does have the flash to make sure they guarantee it there. ZDZ did not know if he needed to have another Benny Hill situation.
What I'll say is, he flashed because he wanted to kill, and nothing else, because I think Gideon was dead too. All right, but it's all right. They'll shove in the wave now. I don't think they'll really go for a dive or anything crazy like that. I think they just want to have a really positive lane state. Maybe get another cheeky reset and just any kind of advantage you can get, right? Even if it's going back for another longsword, just getting those additional stats can mean so much in a duelist lane like Camille versus Fiora in the early stages. We already saw how impactful it could be last game, but there was just so much action rather on the top side, and you expect more because of Harder as well being on the Camille, on the Galio rather, the Galio Camille combo. Very, very popular back in the day, seeing it here. And I think for AO as well, that's the important thing. Having the Camille, I feel like what they lacked last game was, you know, consistent lockdown for a target they wanted to find. Not only do they have the Camille, but they have the additional backup of a Galio to ensure that a massive CC, the knockdown, comes up around it. And they've got a lot of burst damage from range to follow up with, right? Xiaohao Graves plus Betty on the Varus this time around. So there's a lot of potential there. IG, however, you have to imagine will still have a pretty good time on the side lanes if they want to go down that route. AL, of course, didn't really get to abuse the Fiora matchup that much. We'll see if IG have a little more success on that avenue. But First Dragon was picked up by IG. It's always a good thing when you've got what should be a winning side lane matchup in the extended period of time. It means that top lane doesn't have to come to those Dragon fights as consistently. He is really needed for those fights. So, really positive early game for IG so far. AL have at least answered back in one kill.
They have answered back, but this is the, I suppose, a big issue that now AL are going to be looking at, because that was an off-spawn dragon. We have not even seen a Rift Herald. There was nothing to trade in that particular situation for you to be able to kind of come back and say, okay, well, they get Dragon, we get Rift Herald. There was nothing for you to take, and you're already falling behind in gold. Now you've got a timer on you where you're going to have like 10 minutes, 30 seconds, maybe 11 minutes. The second Dragon's going to be, you know, killed. That's when this game starts to get a little bit scary here for AL. And the thing that we talked about in game one that was a bit of their downfall was their lack of aggression, their lack of taking opportunities for themselves. And IG, they're not stopping. They're saying, look, we're going to go for absolutely everything. And they're going to try and take away a blue buff while they're at it. There's going to be a wink here, though. They're going to get the smite down. That's going to be Gideon coming in. They're going to get a hook. Not quite able to get it, but my realm morph is better than yours. Flash over. Gideon does end up falling down. Wink goes for another kill, and he will get it. That is a bloodthirsty support if I've ever seen it. And Wink with the roam means that he's able to make this one work. Nice separation there from SwordArt from On as he looks to try and get the hook, but no handshake today. Means that On's able to kind of just sit in his bot side, no punishment.
No punishment. The wave stacking into him, not too bad. Moby Boots on the Wink is how we ended up getting there so fast. And he is now a 2-0 Blitzcrank. He might start building a couple of APIs. We'll have to see. Of course, like we're just going to go something like Locket Australia's, but fight here at the blue buff. As like you said, my realm warp is better than yours. Realm warp comes in from neny after the fact. And Harder kind of just disengages the fight, but doesn't really add too much to it until he flashes over the wall and gets that two-man taunt in. Eventually, Wink does commit with a flash and ignite of his own with Xiaohao drops, but it's just both the junglers going down. Summoners only really expended from the mid laners, so all in all, it's still kind of an even trade.
It's still an even trade, but I think the big thing I'm looking at is going to be on that bot side. You will have the Whirling Death available to On much earlier than you'll have any level 6s for Betty or SwordArt, but so we'll see a fight again up on this top side. Harder and Xiaohao coming in with the go, seeing if they can make this one work. Gideon actually defensively ults and actually feel like they might be able to get something. Oh, whispered past his butt cheeks right there. You can hear it going by, but now we're going to get for a full fight as they're going to get himself in the revive, but he's not going to be revived off of this. That's a 4-man taunt, but can he survive the aftermath with the aftershock? Yes, he can. ZDZ cannot escape from the impending doom, and a flash of force from SwordArt as he knew if he got caught by that hook, he was dead.
Oh, the fight just goes sideways for AO, and I think the big turnaround thing there was You Should Know Me's ultimate was just healing everybody so much. I think it was a 3-proc ultimate. Of course, Fiora's heal on the ult scales of how many vitals were procced on it. So many people just getting so much health back, even though they're all clumped up, taking a lot of AoE damage. You'll see in the replay here, the initial chase down comes from ZDZ, who's engaging maybe a little bit too out of sync here with Xiaohao and Harder. And then the disengage just kind of comes in. They realize they have to turn around from the play. The hook from Wink just barely goes wide. And at this point, the chase down is on ZDZ. I think it's 3 procs of the Q, and the riposte onto the Justice Punch locks down this Galio, so he can't do anything. Eventually, That ultimate is popped by ZDZ, and you can just see no one's really taking damage. Everyone is just healing back up everything they're taking. ZDZ flashes, still goes down, and even the flash gets forced. Nice SwordArt after the fact. Just a really positive fight for IG. I don't think they ended. No, they did actually take the Herald as well off the back of it in the replay. So now they have the Herald to work with. A lot of plates can probably go into, you would imagine, Arn's backpack. However, you should know me, he's been getting a lot of attention so far in the early stages for IG. So could even see a Herald go up to there to see what IG's priorities are.
I have to wait and see where they want to kind of go for this one right now, because it is just kind of IG kind of dictating the pace again, looking to be pushing forward, looking to make things happen on the side lanes, and it's all happening up top lane. Wink hasn't really been bot side in a very long time, and Wink is just, look at him swagger towards this bot lane. He knows if he gets a hook onto Betty, that could be another kill, and he's going to look for him. Not quite underneath the tower, though.
600 movement speed when he presses his W key, by the way. That's not scary at all with those Lobby boots. Neny. Right. A bit of taunt damage, but there's that Herald into the bottom side. Expected. Trying to get Draven as big as possible here. He will take up some plates as they find SwordArt.
Oh, they could look for him. They're going to get the hook in. There's the
Cash
whirling
in.
dead. Cash in for On. We will not see the implications of how much money he got until the very end of this fight. As Gideon just trying to put down as much damage as he possibly can. He knows On's on the other side, and he doesn't want to give him any more gold. So he says, you know what, Neny, you can have this one here. 2-0-2, and Jamada, after a scrappy game one, game number 2 is looking dead and buried already.
Yeah, it is looking like we could be looking at the funeral of AL for this series. IG are just first to the ball everywhere, and like you said, Arn even got the cash in. I think he had 94 CS, 95, so if my mathematics is correct, I got around an extra 250-ish gold for that kill.
Sure, we're going to get a nice zoom in right now.
Saw that. We probably will, as...
Nope.
No.
God damn.
I'm kind of surprised. Well, this is probably why, as we come out of the replay, ZDZ.
He's still going, YSKM, and he's going to die eventually. Xiaohao gets himself another kill on the top side. Hello, Neny. Here comes another challenger. As I didn't even see the realm morph, but now ZDZ thought he was being coy.
Oh, baby.
Forward, the knock-up, the Blitzcrank. Wink does it again. 3 kills on the Blitz, and this man is just hungry for blood.
He's winking and smiling on the drive-by of ZDZ there with that hook. 3-0. He's got 300 gold shutdown. Oh, it's just comical. Now, AL, they answer a little bit in the mid lane. Harder finds himself 2 plates, which isn't too bad of an answer, but the rest of his team is certainly suffering, as we'll see. Initial play comes in, and that's what I was talking about in the last game, where you can kind of get these cheeky hook shots on top of a Fiora, but you should know me just buys so much time with the healing, and then eventually it's underneath the particles of the Fiora armor, which is why it looks so difficult to see. I don't even know if AL saw it, to be honest with you. And then he just kind of shows up, and hook comes down. Neny isn't donating the kill. It's wins. He earned it.
I mean, I'm not saying he should be giving these over right now, because he is going to be so very. He's actually got an amp tone as well, so I don't know what he's building just yet. But we'll see. We'll see what he ends up going for right now, because he is feeling himself at the moment. He is just going from lane to lane, constantly putting down pressure. And this is the thing. Blitzcrank is just one of those champions that if you can play against him and he doesn't land those hooks, he kind of feels a little bit useless. He doesn't really do a lot unless you're right on top of somebody where he's able to get his ultimate off, he's able to get the constant CC. But that hook is game-changing in so many ways. And now ZDZ is 2 levels behind Neny. You can't take this fight. You gotta go back to lane. Get some farm, brother.
I think he needs a little bit more farm at this point.
He needs a hug.
Hell, you just might. I think You Should Know Me is very, very happy now in this side lane. Level 10 tick over. He is red, isn't he? Just gonna take this plate in his face. Might even get 2. I don't think he cares.
Nah, I don't think he cares. But I also don't think he has full information of where everybody is. A couple of missing people on the bit on the side. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was almost perfect. It was almost perfect.
Okay, so the reason why that happened is because you can't really... It's kind of hard to explain, but if you CC Galio whilst he's going backwards, in some instances he still kind of just finishes the dash. So Wink actually predicted the backdash, but unfortunately that's just how the interaction works. Unlucky, Wink. Honestly, deserved hook, but you've been cheated by League of Legends. Who would have guessed it?
Man, it would have been so much better to being able to get that. But now ZDZ, he's going to put on the Hextech Ultimatum, but again, he doesn't really have a lot. The hostile takeover really hits nothing now. Here comes the real carry coming in on top of this. Wink here to save the day. They're getting the resets. He gets the hook onto Harder, which means there's just nowhere to go. Fiora gets a kill, and this game is all but done. There is just nothing AL can do. They try to be proactive, and they are shut down by the behemoth that is this Blitzcrank.
Wrap it up, boys. It's looking like a blitz scrim. IG are stomping all over AL right now, and there's just nothing they can do. SwordArt's ultimate as well. Maybe if it hits a couple more targets, it can turn the fight around, but frankly, it just doesn't matter. The lockdown comes in, but there's just no follow-up damage to come through. You can see dashes and flashes away from that hostile takeover, and then the turn around is just simply on. Look how many targets that whirling death hits as well. It's just a near picture perfect fight for IG, playing a simple hook shot into Heartbreaker. And poor old Harder is left to the wayside. And now IG coming out of the replay on the Herald straight away. This game is looking all but done and dusted.
8,000 gold, and it's looking like it might be a little bit more as well. And oh, nicely done there to get in front of Harder to stop him from dashing away. He does have a flash, but where can he flash to? He's going to try to go towards his thing, but you got a battle blitz coming back in here to try and make sure no one can kill off You Should Know My Name, or You Should Know Me. I think of Your Name, the anime movie. That's what I think of when I think of that. I don't know why. Also, Blitz is 100% going for an AP item.
He is 100% going
100% going Everfrost.
Yeah. You know, you asked earlier, and I did pose the very jokey question.
You did?
Which I just said, let him cook. And currently, Wink is cooking something.
He's cooking.
I'll tell you.
He's cooking a lot.
Yes, he is. And this is going to be third dragon going down to IG.
16
so,
minutes.
Yeah. It's not looking good, folks. If there were turnaround win conditions for AL, I would love to tell you them. If
I was gonna save you the conversation, to be perfectly honest. I was like, I don't need to put. Look, he's part of the core team now. I don't need to throw him under the bus.
You don't. Like, you know, between you and I, chat, and of course Oisin, who is here as well.
I'll close my ears. You can have your private conversation with chat.
You know, I'd love to be professional and be like, yeah, you know, AL, maybe they can come back from the side lane. We've got global compardo. Yeah. They're also staring down the barrel of 10k gold lead at 16 minutes. So, yeah. I feel like IG have everything in their power to just end this game in the next couple of pushes or so. They just have to make sure it's not as sloppy as last game. They don't let the chaos get to them. That should just about be it. They can try and fish for shutdowns at best, but again, it's just such a mountain to climb. And Wink is also on the hunt. So you just have to be careful. And I mean,
He's got his Everfrost.
He's got his Everfrost as well, right? Like, it just get... Oh, no.
They see them. They see them all coming. He knows there's quite a few of them there. Now he's going to jump onto Harder. He's going to pop down and miss absolutely everything. Forced to flash away. He can't give over the shutdown. It's not allowed. Now neny getting jumped on by the Venn diagram of doom, and he should be shut down, taken out. That's Xiaohao with his third kill of the game. Gideon trying to run away here, as we do have Wink kind of moving in onto Betty right now, seeing if he can maybe do something here, but Wink, the battle blitz, has been left to die. But while this has all been happening, yes, they lose 2 people in the top side. Let's have a look at bot lane. Because bot lane, you've got YSKM just making short work of this tower and doesn't even care about the turret hitting him because he knows nobody's coming near him.
Exactly. He's now 2 levels moderately consistently above ZDZ. I think he's probably more accurately like a level and a half up. Gideon just going to come to the top side and defend. Arm actually took a couple tower shots there. Or rather, Betty did. His arm is in the mid lane and could get jumped on.
Yeah, he will get jumped on, and now he's going to have to try and make this one work for himself, but he's 2 items and an Immortal Shield Bow. He's going to smash you. 3-3-3, not quite 7-7-7, but it's a bit of a mini jackpot for you. There's the Hawksall takeover. His on flashes away. He knows he'll do a hell of a lot of damage to his own team. Almost takes back the trade. But yeah, it was a small silver lining on what is otherwise a very, very dark cloud here for anyone's legend, and just nowhere for them to go. And Battle Blitz comes back in, says, all right, should anyone be walking towards it? And they have Rift Herald as well. They're going to have to crack open the base.
Yeah, they will certainly crack open the base. Shelly is here. Demolish Proc, pass that charge in. Do everything, and, you know, due diligence. Won't intentionally try and take this mid lane inhibitor, though I suspect
Glasc
Betty
would be
will
proud.
try to let it go down. As a mid lane, yeah, Arn just deals so much damage, heals all of those crits back up, so just does big damage from Camille and Harder. So bit of a failed attempt, and Realm Warp over a little bit over audacious, over eager from Arn to get involved in the fight at that HP. Almost takes down Xiaohao. If he had, you know, crit chance on his side, he probably would have killed him. Chase down from You Should Know Me. Successful double kill. Successful fight all in all. And IG still in control of the map.
Yep, 1 minute 40 now until the soul spawns. That is a 22-minute dragon by the time it gets taken down. That's a dragon soul. And it's a hex soul. So you got yourself so much extra damage, so much extra slowing. It's just going to make it even harder now. AL, you need a miracle. You don't just need a miracle. You need more than one miracle. You need the second coming of Christ, realistically, to start making this one work for you, because this one is just looking dead and buried, and there's just no one who can deal with Fiora on the side lane. Ravenous Hydra alongside the Divine Sunderer, you just can't do anything against her.
Yep, too far ahead at this point. You Should Know Me alone is probably going to get to the point where you can end this game at this rate. As IG kind of just playing with their food, I think they should really just go towards the Baron. Drag AL into a fight. Just kind of flex their wallet, to be honest with you. Don't commit to the Baron itself. Don't let yourself go too far behind, but also Dragon's won in 45 seconds. It's such an early 4th Dragon. They should just probably actually wait for that. Take back my previous words. IG know that as well. They're just super confident in this bottom side. And AL don't really have an answer for it. There's no vision down here. And IG will just be prowling in the fog of war like sharks.
Yeah. The murky waters, waiting to pounce, waiting to find anyone who's a little bit of a straggler, and that's why they have to be clumped up. You see anyone's legend, they know they have to be clumped up, because if you're not, something like this is going to happen. You will get the hook shot from ZDT, which gets him away from the hook shot of Wink, but he's got nowhere to go, and Wink's going to get that movement speed, that swagger moving towards his enemy. The Everfrost, he's got everything he needs, and On gets another cash out, an extra 160 gold. SwordArt is pretty much down the backside. Double kill coming in here for the Draven. Neny goes golden, will die at the end of it. Betty does end up getting bailed out, but only to get himself killed once more again. And it is going to be a 5-for-1. The Ace, the Dragon Soul, and this series are wrapped up here for IG.
Almost certainly so. Hex Soul should lead into a Baron. Those two in combination. Gideon. Stone cold face business is all that's on his mind in this series. They will go up towards the Baron after this reset. You know they've got the time to do whatever they want. And they will try and close out their first series of 2023.
They will do it in such style after game one. It was a very quick one, but they just had vision on him all the way through. They knew exactly where he was, and ZDZ, unfortunately, once you're caught, you're caught.
Simple does it. Harder even donates himself after ZDZ is in. It's kind of just like muscle memory. You see Camille ult, you have to R as well. Unfortunately, pulled in by that blitz hook. That time, it was timed just about right to bring him all the way back in. Betty isn't going to revive anyhow. IG will take control of this top side, and AL, well, we made the reference last game about how IG threw not just the kitchen sink, but the whole damn house at ZDZ on the side lane. They're going to have to do the same thing in this Baron pit. Open a prayer. Maybe a winning lottery ticket as well.
I was going to say, yeah, honestly, if I'm AL, if I get a win fight out of this, I'm buying the lotto ticket immediately. There's just no ifs, buts, or maybes about it. You got to try and ride that wave. The ZDZ looks to try and make something happen here against what? YSM, or YSKM, I should say. He's just going to die, but that means that the Baron gets taken out pretty damn easily. Look at the items available for that Draven right now, and now Harder. Oh, he had to flash because you weren't behind. You're not safe behind the minions when you've been Everfrost Blitzcrank.
Nope, you are not. Indeed. Wink. If he doesn't get MVP for this game, I'll be quite surprised. Though we've seen weirder MVPs, right? I suppose.
That's true.
I could definitely see On maybe getting it just because he's super fed on Draven. That is normally how those things go, but Wink has had such a strong performance in this game. He's effectively made it impossible for AL to play just about any skirmish, almost ever.
Yeah, well, they'll get the first tower of the game, AL. That's something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. And we can see ZDZ one auto attack. He has to flash as the hand of death was coming ever so closer to him. He eludes it for now, but death only you don't escape death. You just delay it, I think is the best way I can put it. And this game is starting to really feel like it. Nice flash from neny as he's just going 1v3, really making a name for himself in this mid lane, going for the Ryze and making himself known to the rest of the league that, hey, look, we might not have Dove, but we have got talent. We have got players to be able to make this one work. And IG, they're looking like they're going to be taking a 2-0 pretty damn soon. 25 minutes coming up to it just shortly. And they're eyeing up the Nexus.
What can AO give us on the last leg defense? There's a Hex Flash from Wink. He's going to go golden. That almost going to hit no one. And now the fight's going to ensue underneath the Nexus towers. There goes Harder. It's a whitewash machine.
It is an absolute slaughter. Wink wants the 1v1, but he shall not get it. He needed to land that last hook in order to get it. But On shall redeem him. On shall push forward and look to make it work for him. IG, they're just having fun right now. They did get ZDZ on the backside of that one there. Nexus exposed. Game is done. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. 2-0 to IG in a perfect start to the LPL 2023 spring season.
Really solid series win for IG, specifically the second game, of course. First game could have gone either way. I have to give credit to AO where it is due. Anyone's Legend put up a massive fight in that game number one, but frankly, IG, when it came to that second game, were just on another level. Wink on that Blitzcrank, making it a living nightmare to live on that Rift. And, you know, I think we had questions about the departure of Jun and how IG as a whole would look. And honestly, good opening series for IG, and hopefully it can only get more positive with the addition of Dove in the coming weeks. And then he will still remain, I believe, their mid lane.